leader.
All right, go ahead
Okay,
and
thank you.
introduce Gabe.
Thank you very much, Jen. Appreciate that. Hey, everybody. I am really stoked to introduce Gabe Ross. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't really know him. He and I have not had a chance to meet that I can remember. Maybe we met at conference at some point because Gabe actually is not an outside hire for Symmetry. He's actually a Symmetry agent. He's been with Symmetry about 4 years. And actually, he was with a practice company before. So he brings a certain perspective of working for another IMO before coming to Symmetry and seeing what worked there and what didn't work there and what works here and what doesn't work here. And he's taken a step a little bit further and coming on board with Quality full time. But a little bit of his props. Gabe is an elite producer. Um, an elite producer at Symmetry is big. I believe that only 2% of the agents at Symmetry reach this level. On his own pen, that means that he placed $30,000 of APV of business 2 months in a row. That is extremely hard to do. And Gabe, I can't think of anybody better to be championing our cause with Quility to come up with technology that helps us do our job better, faster than anybody else. The name of the game here at Symmetry is helping families, and the technology that we've been working on with funnels and now adding Hatch is something that just takes us to a whole new level. I'm really excited about this. Gabe, I want to kind of turn it over to you, but I want to make sure we leave a little bit of time for questions. I kind of promised people they'd have the opportunity to pick your brain a little bit. But why don't you talk to us a little bit first? How about this? Give me a high level of what your experience was in Symmetry in the 4 years that you were here. You're direct to Griff Martin. Where are you located out of?
Alabama,
You're out of what part of Alabama?
near Huntsville, same area as Angela Walker.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and what made you make the switch from the IMO you were with to Symmetry?
Yeah, so I had a great upline there and a great set of AOs. There was a group of four of us. Loved what was there. I wish we could have brought that to Symmetry. I tried, I promise you. I didn't love the leadership of the company, so I started looking for better leadership, culture, better leads, just a better system that felt more like a business. That was a little bit more like a boys' club and locker room. And the focus there was on submit, and I really was worried more about net profit. And so I started looking, researching, asking a lot of questions, and then that's what led me to Symmetry.
Okay, well, awesome. I'm glad you're here. What's your experience like as a Symmetry agent?
It's been great. It met all my expectations. It provided everything that I needed. And so I think HQ may have been maybe a year old when I came on board, and I'd never had a system or platform that allowed me to gather resources in one place or manage my business in that way. And so it was really nice to walk into that.
I was showing off HQ to someone I was interviewing, and they said, "How much do I have to pay for this every month?" She came from a place that had a not even as near a portal as we had, and
Mm.
was paying, I think, $60, $70 a month just to have access to it, which
Hmm.
seemed a little bit kind of crazy to me. You want to give people access to training and tools that are going to help them.
Right.
Um, what's your goal as the director of quality director of partner? What's it again? Partner success.
Partner success, yes.
What do you want to do?
Oh man, it's multifaceted. So I started about 2 years ago creating, well, I say that lightly. I'm not a developer, but putting together some tools for my business that would help it run more efficiently and effectively and actually run while I had a full-time job, and have 7 children and been married almost 30 years. So my plate was full. So I was
Wow.
looking for a way to make my life a little bit more efficient. I did that for a couple of years when I was finishing my business as an agent. Showed some of that to corporate. Then we started having conversations because they saw the need of having someone at corporate that understood the field and also understood the product at the same time. So Brandon likes to refer to me as the bridge. I call it the translator. I speak enough tech to speak that, and I speak a lot of field, so I can speak that very well. I understand the agent's mindset, and so it's a couple fold. There's the one side that helps the agents and agencies help you be successful. So I get a chance to have conversations, see what's working for you, what's not working, and then take that back to the product and development team and say, these are the things that are not as effective for the agent, or these are the things that are broken, or if we could create this or solve this, it would make their lives easier. And on the other side It's to help the business of Symmetry and help the leaders of Symmetry accomplish the goals they want to as well. So it's both helping the agents and agencies and then also the business of Symmetry at the same time find success.
Excellent. I love that. Thank you very much. What has been your primary focus since coming on board and doing that? What have you been pouring most of your energy into?
Most of my energy has been around making sure the launch of Hatch and Funnel have been as successful as possible with the new updates and releases. And so I've been here for about 7 months. I've been on the product side for about 3 months. And so we delayed the launch of Hatch for a few months. And that was because we really put an emphasis on trying to get it as right as we could. We know you're never going to make the perfect product. There's always going to be struggles and issues and iterations. And so been focused on making sure it was delivered to you was useful day one, even though there's room for improvement and extra features along the way. And then really what we call the voice of the customer. How do I capture your voice and deliver that in ways that are most heard and effective to the product development team? So been telling them, hey, there's some struggles here, there's some issues here. This is a real opportunity for us to gain some credibility, to reestablish some trust with the agents around technology, and then start building more sustainable technology because it matters to the user, it matters to the agent. If something doesn't work the way you need or we intended, it matters. It affects your business. And I feel like I can be a megaphone of that to say this isn't just a broken feature. This actually is removing money or inhibiting money from going into the agent's pocket. So trying to be the voice of the agent, that's really what I've been focusing on initially.
Gabe, thank you so much for sharing that. Two things I want to comment on. Number one, my background, for those of you that know me, actually was in information technology. I am so far out of it now. My skills are rusty. Again, I couldn't code right now if I tried. But I had the opportunity to work at a biotech company, and the founder of the biotech company was challenging me on rolling out some technology. And I'm a perfectionist at heart. And he said to me, his son worked for NASA. And he said, my son told me one time that the best rockets never launch
Mm.
because they never make it off of the drawing board. The engineers won't let them go and they won't let them draw. So sometimes we need to release stuff and it may not be perfect, but it gets out in our hands and then we can break it and give people like Gabe the feedback he needs to do that. I also like the fact that you're championing us as your customers. Guys, that's a great mindset to have. You want somebody on the other side who views each and every one of you as his customer, and he wants us to be happy with the products that they're delivering into us. So
Yeah,
this is our champion at Symmetry.
I tell our product team that you're the client. If you're not successful, then we can't be successful. So you're 100% right. And I do lean that way, Tom. I think I drive our product and development team crazy. I'm the get it right before you get it out the door, but I know if you never get it out the door, you'll never get it right. So there's a fine balance.
That is, there is. Okay, so you're here. That's what you've been working on. What is the main product or project that you want to talk to us about today? And I want to just kind of turn it over to you and let you drive for a little while. But please give us some time for questions at the end, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and we go to the top of the hour, correct?
We go to the top of the hour. If we go a couple minutes over, people won't be too upset. But let's not go too far. Okay?
Yeah, understood. I'm just trying to gauge my time, so I'll talk 90 miles an hour. How about
Appreciate that.
that? Yeah, Hatch is really what I want to talk about. It's I think I'm most proud of it because I feel like we got it right for day one. Now, you're always going to have those requests. I've been gathering those requests. So if you have, hey, it'd be nice to, I wish we could. Those are all things we need to know because we're not launching Hatch and walking away. This is phase one. There are multiple phases that are planned, and what that's called in technology world is basically a roadmap. We have a map of things we're going to continue to add and work on in the future. So don't feel bad about requesting those things. We will add those. We just can't add them all at the same time. So I'm most proud that we got this right. Now, there's again bumps along the way, but our team has been amazing handling those. If you do have a site that hasn't been set up yet and you need help, please reach out. I'll drop my email in the chat in a minute. But as you were saying, Tom, an agent comes in and they've never had a platform, they've never had a business, they've never had a license before. And as Brandon and Casey always say, the two things you should be focused on are dialing and presenting. And so in today's world, unfortunately, you also have to market yourself. Just the way lead behavior, customer behavior has changed. They're not as apt to fill out a form and send it back in. And so we're trying to be proactive and think, how can we help you establish yourself in the market as a licensed professional and give you an opportunity to be able to market yourself? And then also generate another method through which you can start bringing in leads and driving traffic to generate those leads as well. So that was how Hatch was born, if you will, no pun intended. But that's how it came to be. If you've been around Symmetry for a long time, we had owner circle sites, and they were an attempt to do this. And for that day and time, they did what they were supposed to do. This is the new iteration and new version. Looks very clean, modern, very intuitive. It highlights you as an agent, as a licensed professional. I'll go through in just a second how you can set it up. You literally can get a new site in about 2 minutes. That way, you don't have to worry about trying to be a web developer, be a content creator. We've provided all of that for you. So it highlights Symmetry as the place where you work. It sets you apart as a licensed professional. And all of this is created for you by our product and our marketing team. You get a chance to show your clients who you are. So I love to use Ben's because he can wear hats and I'm terrible at wearing them. So I love to use him. So you get a chance to put your information, contact info, phone number. That way it represents you and who you are. And then they can always click on the learn more. It'll take them to a little bit more about if you want to put in your agency information. And that way you can have some credibility with people who are coming to your site. So it has all the solutions that we offer, and all the pages for each one of these have details around what types of insurance, what type of financial planning you might do when it comes to debt-free life, retirement solutions. And then there's tons of articles. So education is a big thing for clients to be able to come in and see and read a little bit about what it is they're buying so they gain a little bit of knowledge. So you don't have to overcome that huge gap in trying to educate them. We provide a lot of articles there as well. And so back at the top, under that what we offer, every single one of these pages has the information about that product. I love the debt-free life because that is a little bit harder product to sell. I know you've got, Forehand on here who's the master of all things. But for those of us who are not as smart as he is, you have this debt-free life calculator that has been built. Fitzgerald did a great job sharing that with us, helping us create this. And so your client can come and put in all their information. And this type of conversation sometimes is difficult, especially for your warm market, because they don't like to talk about debt. Nobody likes to talk about their money situation, their finances. You can send a warm market or a client directly to this calculator and tell them, look, if you want to go play with it, figure out what it looks like. I can tell you about what debt-free life does for you, how it can help you get out of debt in 9 years instead of 30 or 40 years. They get a chance to come and they can see the impact of what a debt-free life plan can do for them without having to be embarrassed about their situation or be embarrassed about the education gap that they have and the knowledge they don't have about what that product can do for them. And then at the end of that, if they want to connect with you, they can click and fill out the form. If they're a cold market lead or if they're a warm market lead, just simply reach back out to you and say, I'm ready to have the conversation. So every page has the opportunity for a site visitor to gather information and for you to be able to obtain a lead. So maybe a client's here looking for final expense and they decide, I want to talk to an agent. If they fill out this form, it's going to put it in a funnel as a lead. Now, if you have your calendar connected, as soon as they finish this form, they can book an appointment directly on your calendar. If you don't have your calendar connected or they don't book an appointment, Funnel will then start to nurture that lead with a workflow, which is a series of messages based on what they were looking for. So it knows they came from the final expense page and it's going to start sending them messages around final expense to nurture them to try to get them to schedule that appointment for you. So Hatch lets you present yourself as a licensed professional, also lets you gather and capture leads. And then it has this DTC, which stands for direct to consumer. This is important because consumer behavior is changing. They don't want to sit down in front of somebody as often as they used to. They don't want to fill out a form as often as they did before. Customers want to go search for themselves. They want to take their own pace in a neutral setting. So Hatch allows you, with term and mortgage protection, to allow the site visitor to get a quote all by themselves without the assistance of an agent. So they can come in here. I'll tell Ben it's going to drop a lead in his account. They can fill out, play around with the calculator, and they can see is this something that I want to apply for, so they can fill this out here. Has your information listed here. If they ever want to contact you or call you, they'll click the get a quote, and in just a few seconds, it'll generate a quote for them. This is based on Banner's Beyond Term plan that has a term life with living benefits. Tells them a little bit about the policy here. If they click continue, which I won't, it will take them to Banner's application and they can fill out the application by themselves. As an agent, you get a notification that that's taken place. It'll show up in your Banner dashboard. It'll show up in your Navigator account as well, and it'll show up as a lead and funnel. So it gives you a chance to let people or send warm market maybe that it's difficult to have a conversation with about insurance or about debt-free life. It's a way for you to capture leads and a way for them to be able to quote and apply directly on your site, again, without ever having to talk to an agent. I'll stop there. Any questions you've got or anything you want me to talk about, Tom, before I go too far or too deep?
Yeah, one question I have is if I could, I'm thinking now after you're describing it, I'm thinking of Hatch like it's a virtual storefront that we're giving our agents where all they can instantaneously have a web presence that's personalized to them and has content that they don't need to curate that's relevant that just I don't know supports or bolsters their professionalism. Am I taking it too far?
Nope, that we call it that the new term in the future will not be Hatch. It'll be called digital storefront.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there'll be more information about some of those changes coming up. But yes, it's the store. It's how you present yourself online, and people can come and view at the door or the window before they enter, and that way they can decide, if they want to walk into the door. So it gives you a place to be online. It also helps you with A2P approval. The carriers and Twilio that approves phone numbers for you to be able to contact people through a CRM. And they look to see if you have a legitimate business online. Hatch gives you that legitimate business. So it helps in that way as well.
Excellent. The
Two
other
things.
question I had was, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. Go ahead.
Um, when you said funnel will then nurture them, is that all built in automated, or is that something I have to go activate once the client gives their information?
Nope, it's automated. So I'll show you the workflows. They're all listed here, like critical illness workflow, disability, final expense. And like I said, if they come in here and they fill out this form, it'll make a lead and funnel. And if they book an appointment, nothing happens. If they fill out the form and don't book an appointment, then that automated message campaign will kick off based on whatever page they were on when they filled out the form.
Gotcha. Great.
Gabe,
Thank
real
you.
quick then. I'm assuming, you know how as an agent, when we're filling out an application with the client, the agent has all kinds of disclaimers. Yes, I asked every question, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. If they're doing it by themselves, right? I'm assuming that they're indemnified. The agent's indemnified. That's all rests on the client's shoulders as far as all that, correct?
That's correct. And even Banner's application, midway through, you can send it to the client to complete. This just lets them do that from the very beginning. So yes, Banner handles all the compliance and you're covered under Banner's application.
I was playing around with it a little bit earlier today, and one of the cool things that happened is I don't use funnel really that much. In fact, I don't use it at all. But when I went ahead and tested, hey, I'm interested in term, or I'm interested in the opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
it sent me an email that was entitled lead.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yeah, if you're
even
not connected to funnel, it'll email to you as the lead.
Beautiful. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yes, sir. And then we also have the recruiting page, the Working with Symmetry page. So if you are heavy into recruiting, then you can grab this link right here and share that on your social media. So you just come to the About page, Working with Symmetry, grab that link, and you can share anywhere you post about your business and the opportunity. And again, here's a form that allows a potential recruit to fill out, has the licensed and unlicensed. And you see if they don't book on your calendar, then you'll also see a couple of workflows for recruiting, licensed and unlicensed. And those will start automatically to nurture that recruit to schedule on your calendar. And we're speaking to whichever one they are so that we can speak more directly to their situation. With the new updates, it's not just text messaging, it's also emails. So there's a series of text and emails that will go to that potential recruit if they fill out the form on your recruiting page.
Wow, Gabe. You just made me think about something. I am not managing my recruiting efforts in Funnel right now because I thought that I could only do that through the Symmetry program, recruiting program. I could be using Funnel right now to walk my agents through the onboarding process.
Yes, there's a series of steps along the way. We try to organize it the way most of you run your business. So new recruit, you interview them. Some of you like to do second interviews, so we gave you
Yep.
that opportunity. If they miss the interview, we have a bucket here where you can message them to try to get them back on a calendar. If they're unlicensed, it has steps for pre-licensing and for exams scheduled, and then under recruited then you can see the different stages where you can track somebody for the license that or the invite that you sent and whether they've accepted it, whether they've completed the application, and when they're finally ready to write. So, yeah, we've designed the funnel recruiting to be a little bit more intricate and detailed. So that way you can track those leads and potential recruits in a more granular way because the steps involved are more intricate than they are for a typical sales lead.
And designed by Symmetry agents for Symmetry agents, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay, love that. I know you got more content. I got more questions. Give me more content though.
So this is in your hands now as an agent. Let me show you just really quick how to set it up. If you have not set up your Hatch site yet, you're in HQ. Simply click on the Hatch tile. It'll bring you to the setup page. There's only two tabs, like it's super simple. If you don't have a website yet, click that. Search for whatever you want to use. So nobody's gotten this one yet, so I keep using it as an example. Best agency ever. It's available. So once I do that, I'm going to click register domain. Then the system will update all of that, get your Hatch site ready, connect Calendly. If you have an account already, you can log into your Calendly. It'll pull your calendar in. If you don't, you get a free account. And then it'll tell you where your email, where your leads are delivered. Once you do that, it'll save it, take it to the profile page. It'll bring in your contact information. You can update any of this at any time, update your picture, always add a picture, always provides credibility, update in any information you want here. And this, I want to explain this really quick. You saw on this site right here on the term and mortgage protection, they could come and get a quote. The way they can do that is when you're setting up your site, you enable DTC, which is direct to consumer. If you don't have that, if it's grayed out, it means you need to get contracted with Banner. If you have a contract with Banner, click that. That way it will have this button here that they can click to get a quote. And then this is somewhat confusing if you've never had a website before. Some agents go, well, if I click recruiting, I still want to have all the other pages. Hatch is the whole house. You get the whole house, okay? You don't have to pick between, do I get this page or this page? You get the whole house. Here's what this is right here. This is the front door. Any ladies love to change the look of your front door with the seasons? This is what allows you to change your front door. If you do a lot of term and mortgage protection, this is what people will see when they come to your site first. If you do a lot of recruiting and you want your front door to be recruiting, when they come to your website, they're going to come directly to the recruiting page. And you can come and change this at any time. You'd like to do a lot of advanced markets like forehand, click that, save that, and the retirement solutions page is what will be on the very front. But no matter what you choose, you still get everything that Hatch offers. Okay, super simple to set it up. Takes you about 2 minutes to do it. It might take you 5 because maybe you fumble around and you search for a couple of different domains, but 2 to 5 minutes and you should be done. Here's the other thing that I want to point out as well, because I think agents miss this. If you already have your Hatch site, you should be posting all types of content on your social media using your links nonstop every single day. You don't have to be a content creator. Our team has created a ton of content for you. So come back in HQ under sales tools and quality platforms. You'll see the Hatch page. When you click on that, it will take you to a page called the Hatch Hub. On this page, there is tons of content for client marketing. If you want to talk about insurance or you want to talk about mortgage protection or you want to talk about debt-free life, all of these graphics are already pre-made for you. All you have to do is download it. And you say, well, I don't know what to write. Well, great. Grab one of these and copy these, and that will be the content for your post. This is where you'll insert your Hatch link. Let's say you want to talk about life insurance and you want to say, I want to attach my link here because I want people to come directly to my site. You just go to your homepage or whatever page you want to copy that. And when you go to put this in your Facebook post or Instagram post, just copy and paste your link there. And that way they can come directly to your site from your post. Tons of content for sales and then tons of content for recruiting as well. So you don't have to become a web developer or a content creator. We've tried to handle all of that for you. And the marketing team told me yesterday they have a whole series of more content coming out in the next couple of weeks. So I wanted to highlight that. There's so much more we could talk about. Let me talk about one more thing. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We've tried to create some content for you on the funnel side as well. Maybe you've got a bunch of people, and this is what I would encourage agents to do. If you're in here and you talk to this person and they didn't buy anything. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and create a tag, no sale. I'm going to tag this lead, no sale. We'll go back through this another time in detail, but I'm going to keep a list of all my no sales. So I'm going to go find those that are tagged no sale and I'm going to save it. I'm going to save this list. And over time, I'm going to have a list of, 5, 10, 20, 30. And I'm going to pull up that list. And let's say I didn't sell them, but guess what? They're not completely dead because I can send them my DTC link. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to text them. And I'm going to go find the DTC link. I've got the Warm Market one up there. So I'll just grab that one real quick. There's a ton of templates we've created. Whoops. Error. Hold on. Let me do it from here. Oh, I didn't send that one. My bad. Should have pulled that one up already. Let me go back to my one I've messaged already. There we go. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go into this and search for DTC. We've already written a message for you that you can use. And then all you got to do is come in up here, grab your site, and I'm going to go to the quote page. And I'm just going to copy and I'm going to paste that directly into that. Now I'll show you how to shorten that at some point as well. And then send that. And now those no sales, you're going to give them one more chance to go to your website and use the DTC function. Sorry, I could talk for hours. I'll stop there because I know we're almost done.
Gabe, I didn't realize there was this much content, so I didn't prepare well enough.
You're good. I could talk, like I said, I could talk for hours.
Well, let me share with you. And George and Janet, you might appreciate this. The feeling I have right now is the feeling I have when I'm in Denver and we're maybe 2 minutes into the getting going of our, well, not 2 minutes, but we're a little bit into the getting going of our conference and they start making announcements of the vision casting that they have for what's coming down the pike. That mind-blowing, somewhat giddy, having trouble processing everything that he just said because it is a lot more than I actually expected it to be. That's kind of, I walk out of conference with that kind of blown mind when I come out of this.
Yeah.
So I want to open it up to questions. Do you have something here you want to talk about real quick?
I got a message from Aaron McLean and Jordan Hunt on Saturday. And Aaron sent me this and said, hey, tell them they knocked it out of the water. I posted on Facebook and then within a few minutes, I had a recruiting lead that she came through Hatch, went to Funnel, and he's messaging her in Funnel. And then the next day, he must have taught his agent how to do this. Brand new agent. She grabbed that content we talked about earlier, and within 15 minutes, she got a lead from a Facebook post. That's how easy it is.
So guys, this is there's a lot to learn in our business. There's a lot to know. It can be overwhelming. I have some questions, but I could probably pick this guy's brain all day. Who's got the first question for Gabe? Don't be shy.
So I think there are some questions. There's one question in here and I just want to verify. So do you have to have switchboard funnel in order to have Hatch?
Yes, Hatch comes with Funnel. Yes, ma'am.
And so switchboard funnel, there is a small investment of, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks.
$59.99. Yes, ma'am.
I think it's criminal. I think they should be charging $599.
No, don't say that, Janet. We don't want them doing that.
So,
Okay,
but again,
Don't put any ideas.
think about how valuable this is. And when I was a realtor, I had to spend thousands of dollars on CRMs and tools. And here you get all this combined. So that was one of the questions. Can Hatch only connect to switchboard funnel or if there is anything else? Okay.
No, it's included in Funnel. And Teresa has a great comment. So the Owner Circle site used to be $42. And then the CRM used to be $60. So you were paying well over $100. And now we've just included Hatch for free, all included in the funnel subscription for 60.
And without the sound of getting defensive, what you're paying for mostly are your minutes and your messaging to do the texting and the dials from it. And you're also supporting, giving covering support, which every time I need them, they're there. I don't know when they're not on the clock, Gabe. I mean, every time I send them a message, I get a response within 10 minutes, longest time, when I don't expect a response till the next day. But Rick, your hands up first, because you know I could monopolize the hell out of this.
And mine is really just a kind of a logistical thing. So I went to do Hatch and I don't know tech. I know far less than you do, Tom. Uh, as an IT guy, I'd make a pretty good carpenter because if I can't fix it with a hammer, I don't want to know. But so I went in there, followed the instructions for DNS server 1, 2, success. But I tied it to my helmagency.net website.
Mm.
And so it wiped out where it normally landed and went straight to Hatch instead.
Correct.
I saw in your example there where you use Edson, it had edson.com, I think, and then / something and / and then Hatch. I kind of like that. How did he pull that off? Maybe I'd take that offline somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That was just the pages. That's just each page you go to, it adds that / at the end. It's still going to keep edsonagency.com. Oh, I might. Oh, you know what? I clicked on this. This is a test site. That may be what you're looking at.
No, I mean I saw edsonagency.com, but it's taking them straight to Hatch instead of like Edson Agency.
Okay, so that's a great point. All right, let me explain this. This can be confusing, and I don't want to take too much time. But there's a difference between a domain and a website. So think of the domain as the land. You purchase land and you get the address 123 Main Street, and nobody can take that away from you. Your website is the house you build. It's what you build on that land. And over time, you can redo your house. You can repaint it, recolor it, re-roof it. But the address doesn't change, just the look that's on the land changes. So the domain is like your home address and the land, and the website is the house and how you make it look.
And
so
unless
with that said, if I'm going to understand that, then Helm Agency is the land. It's the domain that I bought, the URL,
Correct.
helmagency.net.
That's correct.
And the land that I had developed was my Rick Helm brand, so to speak, leaving Symmetry out because Symmetry is noted elsewhere. It could be problematic when recruiting with LinkedIn and Indeed and that. It can get shut down in a heartbeat.
Okay.
So it's a Rick Helm brand. And then if I want to add Hatch to that, where it's still Rick Helm first in that land, but maybe I've developed another lot, so to speak, in that land.
Yep.
How do I do that?
Yeah, great question. Okay, so go to HQ and click on Hatch. And this is what I've told a couple of agents, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have this and have Hatch separate. Perfectly fine. We have some agencies who want to keep their agency site different because it's for their agency, and that makes perfect sense. So go to HQ, click on the Hatch tile, and go search for a new domain and whatever else you want it to be, rickhelmagency.com, and see if that's available. So then you can now get this land, this domain, that will now look like this, and you can keep Helm Agency separate if you want.
Got it. All right. That's what you did, George.
So
Yeah.
If you already have a site, I would say for sure do that.
The one thing I was going to say, because he did such a great job of explaining the land and the address, Rick, the internet gets confused if you've got two houses at one address. Right. So you can change the house, the look of the house, the feel of the house, the front of the house, all you want to. But if you actually want to have two separate houses at the same street address, it gets a little bit confused.
The post guy will get it wrong every time. Yep.
Exactly. Donna, what you got?
So you have to purchase Funnel in order to get Hatch, even if you're not using Funnel for the purpose of sales.
That's correct. And so this is the transition. You probably don't remember because it was confusing probably. After I was on So2, right after me was our chief product officer. He showed some screenshots. It almost looked like a new HQ. It's more than that. It's one place where all of our applications and software will live. And so we're moving that direction. So eventually you don't have to have Owner Circle and have Hatch and have HQ. It'll all be one. And so this is the transition. And whatever parts of that you want to use, you can use or choose not to use. So if you have Funnel and you don't want to use Hatch, great. You don't have to. It's there if you want it. If you want Hatch, it comes with the Funnel subscription. In the future, it will come with the new platform. But that'll be in the next few months, and I'll be back to tell you guys more about that later.
Okay. Who else has got questions? Come on, guys.
I just have to say, wow.
Okay.
I agree.
Actually,
That's
Wow.
amazing.
let's play that game. Who wants to put wow in the chat? Who agrees with that? I'm wowed. And I've been here for a while, and I've seen a lot of things come and a lot of things go, and this is a wow, Gabe.
I put a couple of links in the chat. There's a couple of help pages. We tried to beef up our articles. So if you want to go look and see Hatch and Funnel, did a lot. I did a lot on Funnel, added a lot of extra resources, some video walkthroughs as well. And then that last one is to the HQ lead engagement page. It has, if you want to see any of the messaging and templates that I referred to earlier on that leads and leads resources lead engagement page, everything you want to know about messaging, phone best practices, templates, all that's there. So a ton of resources. The team has done a great job the last couple months getting ready for you as well.
So thank you, Gabe. If no one else has questions, I'm going to pepper you with a couple real quick here.
Go right ahead.
Number one, you move so deftly between Hatch and Funnels and within Funnels, clicking on different things and assigning tags and then going back and doing a tag thing. It's changed so much since I've done the funnel training that I need to go back and get a refresher course and get caught up to speed. Where is the best place or places for me to go to learn everything I need to about how to use funnels to the best of my ability going forward now?
Yep. For right now, go to the LMS. So go into HQ and go to the LMS, and there's a funnel course. The number one thing I've heard, you asked me what I'm focusing my attention on. I wanted to make sure we had Hatch right, and then the voice of the customer. And the next thing, the number one thing is training. All agents are asking what you just asked. How do I get trained? And that's what I'm going to come alongside and do. I just submitted a 4-part series that walks you through Hatch and Funnel. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, it'll be a rotating thing that you can jump in anytime. We'll walk through all those things that you just said I went through quickly. We'll take a full hour and we'll walk through that. And then the next week, we'll go a little bit deeper. So that'll be coming hopefully in the next month or two. But for now, go to the LMS and look for the funnel course and then use those article links that I sent you as well.
The link articles. Thank you very much. Number two, there's a lot of new people on this call. Some of them may be in my agency. What advice could you give a new agent who's just joining Symmetry, maybe just 2 weeks in? They're licensed, they're hungry, they're looking for change. As someone who's worked for 2 different IMOs and now is with Symmetry, what advice can you give them?
You are in charge of your success. It's not the lead's fault. It's not your upline's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's in your hands. You have the power and the control to be successful. You have to put in the work to find it. You can't just go, wow, I want to be like Dylan Crane. I want to be like Scott Forehand. I think might have been Tom that referred to it earlier. Everybody wants what everybody else has, but nobody's willing to do the work to do what they did to get what they have. So you have to associate with those people, pick up those little bitty nuggets. You have to always be learning. Always be learning. ABL, always be learning. When I first started 7 years ago, we still, I bought Facebook leads. We went door to door, door knocking, all the things. So I listened to SoundCloud recordings nonstop. I quit listening to radio. I quit listening to sports radio. I listened to trainings nonstop because I was going to pick up this little piece from this guy, this little piece from this girl, and I was going to learn. So I would say that's number one. The other is you start net zero every week. You don't live off the past, whether it was good or bad. You start net zero. You can't live off of the past. You have to live in the present. and you have to say, my goal this week is 5,000. I'm going to do everything I can to hit that 5,000. I don't care if I wrote $2 or $10,000 last week. Those would be the things I would say.
Thank you, Gabe. I really appreciate that. And for those of you that don't know what SoundCloud is, we have a massive, bordering on monstrous library of training in a website called SoundCloud. Get with your upline. We can get you connected to it. Some of the stuff is, you might look at it as old because in one of them they refer to cassette recordings. Gabe, I'm not sure if you remember that one, but the information is classic. The technique is classic because it's all about the human connection. It's all about the human relationship. We may use different channels to do that, but the fundamental skill hasn't changed.
That's right.
Since that. And by the way, back when we used to drive to appointments, I was driving an hour to 2 hours to get to where my appointments were. I didn't listen to the radio anymore either. I had SoundCloud running all the time, listening to Casey and Brandon, listening to the other greats that have gone before us. The other question I have for you is, what can we do to make you more effective? What can we do to help you be a more effective champion of us?
Great question. So part of my role is I'm going to be setting up something called a features or request idea board. And it's going to give you a place where you've got these thoughts that you want to see included. It'll give you a place to do that, see what others have requested, comment on that, vote on those. But for now, any request you've got, you can email it to me. I have a list and I send it to the team. I walk through it with the team from time to time. And what I do is I try to gather those in patterns. If I see there's a pattern of 12 agents are asking for this, it probably is important. And so if you want to send me feedback, the other thing, and I tell agents, this is not deflecting. This is not deflecting. I'm always going to ask you if you've got an issue, what's your support ticket number? And I'm not trying to push it off to support, but if you submit a support ticket, we can record that and we can see, is this affecting one agent, 10 agents, 100 agents? And the development team can go in and look exactly into your account as to what happened and why it happened. So as much detail as you can provide, the day and time, what device you were using, a screenshot, a video of what's happening. And then if you want to send me the ticket number, especially if you haven't heard back in 48 hours, please do that because I work really closely with support to make sure they're providing the feedback that you guys need as well. So that would be what I would say is tell me through email what your requests are in as much detail as possible, and submit support tickets consistently when there's issues with as much detail as possible.
Great. Thank you, Gabe. Listen, everybody, we're a few minutes over. Appreciate you giving us just a couple of extra minutes. I had no idea there was going to be this much content. I'll be real frank with you. I underestimated what Gabe had to share with us. May actually have to have you back sometime in the not too distant future, Gabe, to maybe go a little bit deeper. Do me a favor, blow up the chat for this guy. He took time out of his day on like 48 hours notice to make himself available for us. Show him some love. Really appreciate you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you here. Guys, remember what we're in business for. We're in business to protect families. The more families you protect, the more you help your families. We work with an organization that stands behind us, that equips us, that elevates us. I'm firmly convinced Symmetry only makes money when we help families. So the fact that we pay $60 to have access to funnels, it covers the cost. It covers the cost of it. They don't make a profit on us. They only make money when we help families. They want us to be the best trained, best equipped, talking to the most likely clients. So plug into what we've got. I know it's a lot, but you're completely capable of absorbing it. Come up with a plan, work with your mentor on that. Let's go help some families. Let's have an impact on the world about us. And I can't wait to see each and every one of you in Denver in just 60 days.
That's right. Great
Love
call,
you guys.
Tom.
Thank you.